Warning: the contents of this video refer to current health-related events on both global and personal levels. I advise viewer discretion. Hey there, thanks for tuning in. Welcome back to the Torgo Entertainment YouTube channel. Welcome back to another gig log, and most importantly, welcome back to another wedding.
It is an intestinal infection.
What? It's not cholera.
No, I'll prescribe medicine. 3 days at home. I should be well again.
Hi, it has been a hot minute since I last made one of these videos, and I think we all know why. Unfortunately, the day after the last gig log I had, March 15th, New York State pretty much shut right down, along with the rest of the country and the rest of the world because of COVID-19. Oh no, I said it. Demonetize. Oh wait, I don't monetize my videos anyway. The DJ industry has taken a huge hit. I can't pretend that this is exclusive to this. The entire world is just upside down right now. And unfortunately for you international viewers, the US, yeah, I know we're not handling things particularly well right now. And I know it may be weird to see weddings happening in July. Trust me, I am very aware. I'm not thrilled, but I feel like I've taken the proper precautions in order to do this wedding. So today, we are hopefully going to celebrate the wedding of Mike and Brandi. You've actually seen Brandi on this channel once before. Back in September, I did a wedding at the Hilltop Inn. That was when I had back-to-back weddings in September, and she was the bridesmaid who did not walk in with a groomsman, and I was kind of ripping on the officiant for messing up the groom's name during the ceremony.
Next up we have bridesmaid Brandi. Escorted by Daniel, because he doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's her. Even before that wedding, she had booked me to do this wedding. Brandi is a trivia player of mine and has been for several years, although trivia hasn't really been going on either. I have started that up again last week. I'm going to be making a gig log showing how I'm handling the team trivia situation in the middle of a pandemic. Spoiler alert, it's not fun. But because New York State is in phase 4 and we've had some pretty decent recovery, we went from the worst state in the nation regarding number of cases to the best state in the nation regarding the number of cases. Unfortunately, what makes gigs very difficult nowadays isn't necessarily what happens within the confines of the state. It's the fact that we have to quarantine people that are coming in from other states. As of today, there are 31 different US states that our governor, Andrew Cuomo, has said you cannot travel to and you can't have people travel from into the state. Fortunately, all the states surrounding New York, Pennsylvania, Vermont, Connecticut, Massachusetts are not on that list, so we're doing okay there. But I'm worried for the day where Pennsylvania in particular, because I live about 15 minutes away from the Pennsylvania border. When that happens, get ready for absolute chaos. A lot of people have a lot of family just over the border. Today, we handle Mike and Brandi's wedding, and you may be asking yourself, Torgo, it's a little bit early. Shouldn't they reschedule the wedding later on? To which I would reply, this is the rescheduled date. They originally wanted this wedding June 6th of this year. That was in fact going to be gig log number, I don't know what number it would be. I had some school events that inevitably got canceled too, but this was going to be the next wedding anyway. I had 3 weddings lined up for June. This was June 6th and it moved to July 24th. A bit of an optimistic choice, but whatever. June 20th of this year moved to June 20th, 2021. June 27th's wedding made it a lot smaller to the point where they didn't even need me. So they were just gonna, rent a system and use Spotify, every DJ's favorite, and go from there. I was supposed to have 3 other weddings. The last weekend of June, I was gonna have June 26th and 27th with some makeup weddings. Another DJ in the area actually had some health problems, not coronavirus related, so he pegged me to, I can't say pegged, that would be bad, wouldn't it? So he got a hold of me to try and cover those weddings, but 2 days before the wedding, he was like, oh, you know, I think I can handle it. I'm dying, but I think I can handle these weddings, which shows just how hard up for money a lot of these DJs are, and ended up handling both of the weddings anyway. And then the week after that, another DJ got a hold of me because his girlfriend got coronavirus and he was waiting for his test results to come back. He wanted me to be on standby for that wedding. His test came back negative, so he ended up handling it. So it is pandemonium right now. People are just trying to handle as many gigs as they can. The vast majority of my 2020 weddings have either canceled or pushed out to 2021. And most of those cancellations are because everyone wants the same dates in 2021. Let me know if you're having similar problems retaining clients because they all want the same makeup dates. It's very unfortunate, and it's just something we're gonna have to deal with. Fortunately, as DJs, we're a little more malleable with what we can and can't do in these situations. And I've been reading up on all the regulations for what we can and cannot do. As far as I can tell, as performers, we need people to be 12 feet away from us at all times, but otherwise, we should be okay. I'm gonna be wearing a mask for this entire wedding. This wedding takes place in a barn that Brandi owns. Let's head to the map and show you where Montour Falls, New York is. You're looking at about 25 to 30 minutes away. It's actually misleading because the wedding venue is a little bit closer, street address versus the actual location of the barn, because it's on a pretty decent chunk of property. I went there last month to spec it out and just to make sure everything was all right. You can see that we're gonna have the ceremony outside in a cornfield. They're really hoping that the corn grew then. It was really dry when I went there. We've gotten a lot of rain in the past week. The reception is going to take place inside the barn. I would normally bring my totems that you've seen a million times. I'm not bringing the totems here because I don't think the moving heads are appropriate, and I think the barn is just too small in order to make those work. But other things I've needed to do, I'm obviously bringing some cleaning supplies with me at all times. Not only am I bringing hand sanitizer with me, but I'm also going to bring this stuff. I don't use it as hand sanitizer, it's antiseptic. It is 80% by volume alcohol. Fun little scientific fact, you need something at least 70% in order to kill anything that may be carrying the virus. It doesn't matter whether it's ethyl alcohol or IPA, which is isopropyl alcohol, not India Pale Ale. As long as you're 70% or more, you should be okay. I know a lot of household cleansers claim they can take care of it, but 70% is actually pretty high up there. And a lot of breweries in the area have actually turned, thanks to government intervention, to making hand sanitizers and alcohols to try and kill the virus so people can use that on their person. I'm not going to be taking requests in person. I decided that's something you just can't do right now. I do not want people coming up to the booth. I'm terribly worried about the social distancing criteria of this wedding. Now, in New York State right now, the current rule is that you can have gatherings under 50 people and you should be perfectly okay to go. And I've checked with the county regulators, I've checked with everything. It's not really my responsibility because whether there are 5 or 500 people, I'm still hired to do the same exact thing. The number of people that are in attendance is completely irrelevant to me being there. It falls on the venue, and in this case, it falls on the couple directly. So that's out of my hands. All I can do is take care of myself. And I don't even have an assistant coming with me this wedding. I don't think it's the safe choice to have an assistant, so I'm doing this one by myself. I think that's the right choice. I'm bringing my own food because they're having a buffet dinner. I don't know how I feel about people gathering around buffet tables, especially during a pandemic, so I'm just playing it safe and bringing all my own stuff. I think that's the way to go about it. And taking a page out of Brian S. Red's book, feel free to check him out on YouTube. He's one of those DJs that's been making these kinds of videos for way longer than most of us have. I bought a series of microphone covers, and when it comes to toasts, I'm going to put a different one on top of the microphone, and then once the toast is done, you tear it off, you chuck it, you put on a new one, you sanitize everything, and that's just gonna be how it has to go. That's what we have to do. Ceremony originally wanted a lapel microphone. I'm gonna tell them that they need to have a stand and just have a regular microphone on there. I don't feel comfortable using a lapel microphone right now. and I think it'll be okay. The ceremony's outside, as I mentioned. I'm using my Bose S1 Pro speakers. I actually got the second one since you last saw me, so we're gonna use the pair of those, and a standard setup inside the barn. It's a 6-hour wedding. They want a lot of country music to start off, but it'll eventually transition into the more top 40, a little bit of light hip hop. If you've done a country wedding up here, you know exactly how those things go, and they all end up going like that. So there's a lot of music. I have everything. I feel pretty good. I gotta admit I'm a little bit nervous about this one because of everything going on. And I've had this particular question on my mind for a while. When I have people out there and it's time to open up the dance floor, if I get people up and dancing, does that make me irresponsible regarding everything that's going on? Or if I hold back because I want people to be safe, does that mean I'm withholding services that people paid for? It's an interesting dichotomy. I'm not sure what the answer is. I don't know if any of us know what the correct answer is regarding everything. It's easy to say stay home, don't do anything, but you do have obligations to clients. And if there's ways that I can work around it and keep people safe and still do my job, I'm going to do it. It helps that I have a literal wall around me thanks to that dragon front board facade, so that's part of the reason why I decided I'm still going to do it. So I hope you're ready for this one. I know the introduction was a little bit longer than normal, but what's normal anymore? I hope you're ready. I'm ready. I think I'm ready. Let's go.
It's been a while since I've done this, so of course, what am I listening to on my way to the venue? If you've ever wondered who's actually buying those now, that's what I call music CDs. You've seen them in used bins all over the place. I am that guy. I buy all of them because, especially with the early to mid 2000s, it's very hard to find CD quality edited versions of music. So I've been listening to all of the Now CDs in chronological order. I'm currently on 64. There are 74 of them out as of this recording. I only go with the main series, nothing like that. So we have our music, we're ready to go. Let's latch it up, and let's head out. That was a terrible shift.
12 o'clock and we have made it to the barn. That's my table, a shiny silvery one in the middle, and we are right next to the bar and the buffet table and the makeshift photo booth. And let's see how many people they're gonna have. They said under 50. Oh dear. Well, let's do the best we can. Here's the setup once everything has been put together. We'll start off with the dragon front board facade. You've seen this before. I did not have my glow totems. The barn's just not meant for those. Behind the speaker scrim, we have the Element Hex Par. We have just standard speaker stands. We have the 10-inch speakers from QSC, the Chauvet Wash FX, the ADJ Power Bar Link, the stack as we've seen many, many times before. Behind the facade, we have the ADJ UB12 hex bars, which I actually DMX'd for the first time. I've always had them, but I don't really DMX them. I don't know why. I'm so happy I did. It looks a lot better. My Manfrotto stand for the camcorder, which I'm currently holding. My Odyssey notebook from Samsung running Virtual DJ 2020. My radio mixer for 2-to-1, which combines the microphones, which are currently used for the ceremony. The Pioneer DDJ SX2 controller. This is the itinerary for the day. My clipboard is also up where the ceremony is. This is new. This is a fan. It's kind of loud, as you can hear, but I knew it was going to be really hot, so I decided to bring that fan, which I don't normally bring to events. What a lifesaver. We have the 80% alcohol antiseptic made by a local brewery. We have the 70% alcohol hand sanitizer. Remember, 70% is what you need in order to kill anything that may be problematic these days. The Audio-Technica MX50 headphones, my Samsung tablet running My DMX Go. We have the trash can, the glow sticks. We have my suit bag. In there we have the router from My DMX Go. It's tucked underneath the speaker scrim, which is where I like to put it.
And let's get you a little bit of the view of the outside. There's 2 porta potties, and they are definitely leaning into the rustic feel as we see very often with these types of weddings. Hay bales, cornhole, horseshoes. The corn ended up growing quite a bit. Remember how dead it looked in the black and white portion? It grew a decent amount in those 3 to 4 weeks. And we have some guns. Yup. The archway is made of fishing poles too. The groom Michael loves to fish. There's the ceremony. Closely knit chairs as well. I do like this archway thing that they have for the ceremony. We have a mic stand with one of my ULX microphones. Well, actually, the ULX is the receiver. That's just a Shure 58A. That ended up going behind the arch for the ceremony proper. Here we have my 2 Bose S1 Pro speakers. I've only ever used one for the ceremony, and that was for cocktail hour for the Black Friday wedding last year. I've never had them in a ceremony before, so we're going to try those out here, the pair of them. Here we have my Samsung Chromebook. I never took off the protective plastic covering, and the wind it was a little light of a breeze, but it got to that, so I had to take that off finally. We have my Yamaha mixer for ceremonies, my microphone rack with the Furman power conditioner included in, the 2 ULXD receivers, and we have my 10-pack of microphone covers. There's only one thing we have left to do. You know what time it is. Let's level up. Let's go. I'm sorry, I can't show this footage because what had happened is the guy who was at those double doors on the right side during the ceremony was the bride's brother. And during the ceremony, he had a seizure. Health problems at a wedding never help. And you have emotions already running high because of the wedding. And then you have all the COVID-19 stuff stacked on top of that, and then you add health issues. I don't wish that upon anybody. So what I decided to do is I just kind of let the song that was going play out, and then I just kept it silent. No background music was possibly needed for this. Some of the guests called ambulances, they arrived, and it took about 30 minutes to get him out of there. He ended up being okay, but you combine that crazy heat with pre-existing conditions, and it's just not a good experience for anybody. I will never ever show that footage. There's no reason to. That's completely disrespectful. Fortunately, the rest of the wedding seemed to go about as good as it possibly could, given that that had happened. So let's go back to the tape and see what happened.
What is going to happen is you're going to do things that show your love for each other. All right? Maybe it's processing a deer after it's been brought home. Okay? That's the ultimate love, I guess. I think it's time to seal these vows with a kiss with your bride. Do it one more time, one more time. Very first time, Mr. and Mrs. Rhodes.
Martin. First up, bridesmaid Margaret Rhodes, escorted by groomsman Pat Pruden. Give it up for them. Bridesmaid Jessica Schubert, escorted by groomsman Mario Mason. Bridesmaid Brittany Cummings, escorted by groomsman Ryan Rhodes. Maid of honor Erica Rhodes, escorted by best man Zach Pruden. And your newlyweds, Mr. and Mrs. Rhodes. Give it up for them. Give a round of applause, everyone. I'm gonna miss her. I can't hold my little soul. You can't walk me right. We are the same. We hold down and give. Beautiful, crazy, she can't help but push her like aye, aye, aye. Why can't wait till they got me right? Don't text me, tell her straight to my face. Cause every time you touch me, I get this feeling. And every time I kiss, I swear I die. Hate to get that's me type.
And we're back, the morning after. I don't know if it comes across how hot it was inside that barn, but it was a roaster. It was 90 degrees outside, coupled with a very poorly ventilated barn. That fan that I brought was a lifesaver. If you have an outdoor wedding or a barn wedding in the middle of July, I highly advise picking up one of those portable fans that you can bring with you. Because they ended up setting me up next to the bar, a lot of people as they were getting their drinks were trying to lean in and grab some of the cool air that I had generating. So that was a little annoying because I'm trying to socially distance and everything. Speaking of socially distancing, that layout, yeah, no, they didn't care. They didn't care whatsoever about that. And they said that they were gonna have the correct number of people at that wedding, being 50 or under, and we were well over 100. And because of everything going on, I was expecting a lot of people to wear masks. Here are the people that had masks. I had a mask on, both the photographers had a mask on, both of the catering staff had a mask on, and 7. That's it. We're not going to be coming out of this anytime soon. But because of everything going on, a lot of people wanted to stay outside, not only because they were scared to enter the dance floor area because of everything going on, but because it was so hot in there, and they had cornhole and horseshoes and a bunch of other lawn games going on outside the barn, so a bunch of people were just taking it as kind of an easygoing Friday wedding. But overall, I would say this went about as well as could be expected. This was definitely an uphill battle with everything I had to contend with. You know, the bride and groom said they were happy, but you can kind of see in their eyes that this is not how I anticipated this going. But we did the best we could. The microphone covers ended up working out okay. I was a little worried during the toasts how that was going to work, but then I remembered, oh yeah, I have 2 handheld microphones. So while the first toast is going on, I can slip on the cover on the second one and just swap those out, bring the first one back, take the cover off, disinfect it, and then we're good to go. A playlist will be left at the end of this video. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Torgo with Torgo Entertainment. We have a little bit of a respite for 2 weeks, and then we have a wedding due August 8th, as long as that doesn't get canceled. But until then, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.